Himitsu no Aipri just concluded its first arc, so we were excited to break down what we love and hate about this first cour. In case you wonder who we is, let me introduce you to...
Hey everyone, I'm Rosie, also known as RosePal, and I'm glad to be here. A while ago we did a video on Rainbow Live over on my channel where we shared a lot of our favorite pretty series. So if you want to watch it, the link is in the description and at the end of this video, as well as checking out my other videos such as Precure. When I first heard the news of Aipri and saw the first trailer, I was ecstatic about it. Since musical anime is my second favorite genre behind magical girl anime, including Sailor Moon and Precure, I was looking forward to seeing what it would bring to the table, with The World Dream, Rainbow Live, Pre-Para, Pre-Chan, Aikatsu and Shell by Well before it, and for me, it didn't disappoint.
I was really happy to learn about Aipri since I thought the pretty series was over. I made a whole video back then since I had pretty high hopes. The designs looked great and the music was promising. So what's this show about anyway?
It's about best friends Himari and Mitsuki, who attend Paradise Pirates Academy. Unbeknownst to Himari, Mitsuki is an idol in an idol world known as Aipri. One day, Himari discovers an Aipri bracelet and finds herself in the Aipri-verse and unexpectedly becomes an idol herself. When she and Mitsuki discover their Aipri identities, they vow to become top Aipri idols and make new friends along the way, such as the Council Girls, Sakura, Tamaki, Rinrin, and Airi, the fun-loving Chi, and the mysterious Tsumugi.
There's a focus on VR and AI, which is taken almost directly from Pre-Para. This will come up later in the themes section, but it does affect the aesthetic and the world building. While I'm not a fan of this theming, I don't think it's impossible to work with.
One thing that I love when it comes to reviewing new anime is the character designs and the cast themselves. From the bright colors, to the costume designs, and the voice cast, I knew we were going to be in for a fun ride. For example, 3 of the characters are voiced by actresses who played in previous seasons. My favorite student council girl Tamaki is voiced by Anna Suzuki, aka Lemon, and Himari, our main lead, is Minori Fujidera, aka Oru from Pre-Magi, and Chi is voiced by Yo Taichi, aka Nino from Pre-Para. The designs are very unique. They definitely fit into the Pretty series universe. When I first saw them, I was definitely reminded of Pre-Para, Pre-Chan, and even Aikatsu, in a way, especially Aikatsu Planet. As one of the settings of the season, it is in the Pre-verse, which is similar to the Planet world, and the theme of, you can be who you want to be.
I also saw the similarities to Planet. Himari's main chord especially reminds me of Hana's main outfit. It feels like a full execution of what Planet was trying, creating outfits that are simple enough to animate for the everyday stuff, but also complex enough to be performed in CG. The 8-person cast actually uses the entire rainbow. It's really fun. So let's get into the characters.
To me, Himari is the charming lead protagonist. She is a bright-eyed girl who really is a great girl of making lots of friends. Definitely reminded me of Ain from my Katsu friends. She can be forgetful at times, especially if she tries to keep her part in Aipri a secret, but she always learns from her mistakes, and always tries to achieve her goals in Aipri, and always helps her friends. In episode 8, she and Mitsuki did creative ways of making a great friend in their classmate, Yuko, who is an inspiring artist and designer. They really did a great job of bringing out her shyness by bonding over Aipri. Himari was inspired by Yuko's design from the artwork she produced. She contacted Megane to create a new chord for her, the Cutie Rabbit chord. This is my favorite chord in the series so far. It's colorful, it has charm, and there's brightness to it. She meant to say Yuko designed it, and in the end, got her job as a designer for Prism Stone.
I really liked Himari's shy personality, and watching her grow to love Aipri. The show is carried by her and Mitsuki's friendship. Himari's a bit of an airhead considering she could barely recognize Mitsuki, but I love her friendly personality. While her goal is taken straight from Aina, I think it's fun to watch her interact with the other cast members. She's been able to bond with not just Mitsuki, but other classmates such as Yuko and Yuma. She's able to bond with other people out of her genuine friendly nature. The show is doing some really interesting setup with her and Tsumugi too. The two seem to have met in childhood, as implied by Tsumugi's dialogue and song. When she and Chi hang out in her little playground, there's 2 big frogs stacked on top of each other. This immediately rang a bell, since Himari has a childhood picture sitting in a field of flowers, holding her plushie with a frog right next to her. I'm really excited to see what they're planning.
Mitsuki is an amazing best friend for Himari to have. She is a mature, kind and helpful girl who always supports others and always steps up to the challenge, both in school and the Aipri world. I love how her stage is with moons and stars, and she is the shining light to Himari. She is the first person you want to ask for advice, especially when she does her live streams and gives you encouragement right away. I'm also loving the fact that she recently made friends with Tsumugi in episode 10, after she is worried she will lose Himari, after she spends more time with Tsumugi after her debut. But she and Tsumugi's love for Himari is similar. I can't wait to see how she develops in the season.
Next we'll talk about Sakura, who I had the most hope in. She looks a lot like Belle, Sophie, and Elsa, so I was expecting a powerful idol with a compelling storyline and potentially mommy issues. While she is far from her predecessors, I still love her. Sakura is the student council president with a deep interest in Aipri. She takes notice of Himari's explosive debut and follows up on her and Mitsuki. I love how mysterious she is. Sakura gives advice to the girls and seems motivated to seek out the legendary cord. We learn about this early on, when she reveals to Tamaki that Himari could be the one. However, Tamaki urges her not just to look ahead at her goal, but to look to her side as well. It was a really touching episode for them. While we didn't learn too much about Tamaki, I think it was important to establish their bond early on.
Tamaki is my favorite of the school council girls so far. She is the kind and elegant voice of reason who also loves cute things, according to her dialogue in episode 3. I loved her part in helping Sakura realize, in order to do Aipri by doing it together. I'm looking forward to seeing her solo episodes, especially when it comes to cute things. Maybe her arc could focus on either finding the balance between cuteness and elegance, or embracing her true self. Who knows?
My personal favorite so far is Chi. I think she's the funniest character and probably the most realized. She's the high energy this show really needs. She's always a joy to watch.
I'm loving Chi and Tsumugi so far, and I'm glad they are focused in episode 9. Their songs were fantastic. Chi is so good when it comes to comedy, from her facial expressions to her fun personality. One running gag with her so far is when she tries to explain how good she is at Aipri, people ignore her and not take her seriously. She definitely reminded us of Akko from Akatsu's Stars. From episode 9, it starts Chi's arc of overcoming her struggles, of unlocking her true Aipri potential. I hope she doesn't go through a mental breakdown similar to Belle and Jennifer. It would break my heart if she does, but on the other hand, it will give her the clarity she needs. Tsumugi is such an adorable and yet mysterious character. She is very similar to Rin in Rainbow Live, Farlo and Paolo in Pipara, and Chi in Showbiz, and she is starting to understand human emotions. I like her arc of exploring herself, especially now she has made her Aipri debut, and I've heard of theories that she may be linked to Himari somehow, as after her debut, her wavelength was similar to Himari's, and a certain plushie of Himari has as well. Something very interesting is, of course, also, her being a part of Chi will help develop her bond. After when Chiba performs her live, she is starting to admire her and help her overcome her struggles. Now let's talk about the music and the songs. This series really delivered in that department. The opening song, 4-Power Go Revolution, gives us a great showcase to what Aipri is about. Sung by idol artist P. Marasama, the song gives us a great introduction to the world, the characters, and hints about the upcoming storylines, like every season in the Pretty series. The music is very upbeat and gives us a great combination of slow and fast interludes when seeing the visuals.
I love the OP, it's so high energy. I think it's a great introduction to a new season. While Primagi opted for dramatic pop rock, I think Aipri's just here for a good time. The opening leaves a good impression too, showing off the large cast and highlighting the new gimmick, Buzzolumes. I don't know how to spell that, but it is what it's called.
I recently listened to the full version on Spotify, and it's such a bop. I'm looking forward to seeing and hearing the forecast version of the song when the finale comes around. Speaking of bops, the ending song is a secret though. Gives us a mashup between West End and Broadway musicals and songs from the 50s.
I never really picked up on the West End influence, but the swingy rhythm at the start should have given that away.
This song makes us want to dance along to the perfect rhythm, and gives us a fantastic link to Himari and Mitsuki. Through the visuals, we see Himari and Mitsuki going about their day with school, chill-out time, and of course, their love for Aipri.
It's a very fun song.
During this first quarter of the series, we get a few fantastic songs from the cast. We have Poppy by Himari, Secret Dream by Mitsuki, the duo song Unbeatable Duo Energy, Standard Ghetto by Ruby Lazuli, aka Sakura and Tamaki, and Words of Light by Tsumugi. Each song has amazing creativity in different musical styles. Let's quickly talk about them.
First up, we've got Himari's Poppy. It's a great MC song with cute choreo and a fun beat. I love hearing Minori Fujitera's growth from her time as Auru. She's got a loud, melodic tone that really rings out. I love the chorus the most.
We can definitely agree that our favorite song so far is Mitsuki's solo song, Secret Dream. Honestly, I never stopped listening to it ever since I first heard it. It's upbeat and positive both in the lyrics and the music, and it's really catchy. It's a song that definitely cheers you up like Poppy does, and definitely gets you in the mood when going on holiday or days out with friends. The lyrics convey Mitsuki's feelings of going on a journey with you and sharing your dreams together. It's demonstrated perfectly in episode 2, where she sings it for Himari, as it was a dream to do Aipri together with her as friends. This shines as Mitsuki's character piece, as she is a friend you want advice from, and to share dreams with as a best friend should.
I just can't get enough of Secret Dream. Sai Hiratsuka has a really soft voice and it's really appealing. Her delicate tone carries a sense of mystery in her lower notes, while also being really easy on the ears. She's got a really clear voice. It's perfect. The beat is pretty catchy too, so I'm obsessed.
Unbeatable Duo Energy is a great duo song from Himari and Mitsuki, and it's the catchiest song so far. Definitely reminded me of Aikatsu Friends from the first chorus. This solidified the bond that Himari and Mitsuki share as best friends, and really want to show their power as a unit. The lyrics about doing things with friends is fun, and when tomorrow comes, it becomes more exciting. I couldn't agree more with them. After all, friendship is magic, right? Wink wink.
Stand Up Get Up is Ruby Lasley's rock duo. The loud guitar works to support Sakura's strong vocals. Pairing her with Tamaki creates great contrast, since she's got much softer vocals. The chorus is really strong, and I'd love to hear it live. While we haven't heard it in full, I'm really excited to hear that.
Words of Light is a calming and beautiful song for Tsumugi. The lyrics really match well with the character being a mysterious girl who is exploring the world around her. The song gives you the idea that there is more to her than meets the eye. The lyrics include a voice calling to her and finding the answer. Does give a pretty good foreshadowing to interesting storylines down the road, and the role she's going to play. It also makes us think of our own thoughts for our own journey of self-discovery. While we do get snippets of Chi's song, Giru Giru Star in some episodes, we will save our thoughts for that song when the full version comes out, probably when Chi gets a true Aipri potential.
I'm looking forward to a season packed full of content, since the arcade seems to just keep pushing it out. While in the show, we've mostly been treated to the same old Buzzloom chords, the arcade content is where the heat's at. I've been obsessed with all the cross-brand themes employed. The Sweets Desserts outfit are some of my favorite with really creative concepts. It feels like an evolution of Prepara's Anything Goes approach with a very heavy theming. However, this season really captures the appeal of such an attitude. Each design feels very well considered and creatively inspired.
I absolutely love the cards from the game. Such as with all the fashion I have seen in other idol anime, I love the creativity and effort that the creative team of Aipri put into these designs. As I said when I talked about Himari, my favorite card so far is the Cutie Rabbit card. When I saw the other variants of the card, I love the colours and themes throughout. If I was an Aipri character, I would wear one of the Cutie Rabbit card variants myself. My two favourite outfits I want to see animated are Inspiration Detective from Tanaki's brand Recession and Glittering Jellyfish from Mitsuki's brand Miracle Moon. Inspiration Detective is a fun and elegant detective outfit which perfectly describes Recession as a whole, a perfect balance between cuteness and elegance. I immediately saw this as a gothic brand, similar to brands such as Lovely Gothic and Gothic Victoria and Nankatsu. Tanaki brings this look to life as she made me love reading books like Sherlock Holmes. If episode 9 with Chi and Himari creating the Aipri detective taught us anything, I think a future episode with Tanaki being a cute and elegant detective is possible. Glittering Jellyfish is a gorgeous dress with some gorgeous shades of blue and decorative pearls and stars to create the perfect jellyfish silhouette. This really suits the theme of Miracle Moon, as Mitsuki literally represents the moon as she brightens up the stage in her performances. To see this animated would be amazing. The pink variant is super cute too, with a nice combination of purple and pastel colours, and this could represent either the setting of the sun or the rising of the dawn. If Himari wears this variant, she could be the sun to Mitsuki's moon motif.
My biggest concern with Aipri is the concept's execution. It's clear that secrets were a big deal given the title, but with time it's becoming less and less relevant. Between the MCs and Victoria, it feels that secrecy was a pretty weak concept for story drama. It's very bizarre. The few secrets there are feel obvious or simply ripped off from better storylines. Beyond this, I'm really confused by the idol princess theme. The show's actual world feels more like Pre-chan mixed in with Planet. It seems to be reaching for Prepara's success, but the show simply lacks the humor and expansive world that made Prepara successful. It's a very odd mix between mundane slice of life and the occasionally good scene. I was especially touched by the end of the cat episode, where Yuma quietly mourns the cat's departure. These moments show promise, but it's telling that none of them have to do with Aipri. In a show about idol princesses, some of the most grounded moments come through in the real world. Through small intimate scenes, we're offered a very realistic look at some characters. It's quite frustrating to watch the show speed through interesting plots and shun good characters, only to produce randomly beautiful, touching scenes. I can only hope that later on they strike a balance.
I can see where you are coming from. Some episodes which I consider fillers, such as episode 5 and episode 11, are okay for the most part, and the pacing is all over the place at times. it doesn't take away the fact that we are starting to get to know these characters and the world they live in. One minor complaint I do have so far is sometimes during the performances, there is a lot of exposition involved. Some of them are okay, such as Mitsuki in episode 2, which she conveyed her feels to Himari about doing Aipri together during her performance. But for other of their episodes, the talking could be said either before or after the performance, and could leave more of an impact in my opinion. As the preview of episode 12 shows, I think we get to understand more about what the Aipri-verse is really all about, soon enough.
So what are your overall thoughts on Aipri?
For me, I'm loving this season so far. If I were to rank it, I would say I would put it in third after Pre-Chan and Rainbow Live. The characters are fantastic, the songs are absolute bangers, and the fashion is amazing. Whatever happens next in this series, you can be certain I'll be posting my weekly thoughts throughout on my Twitter. In the meantime, I will do my long-awaited viewings of Aurora Dream and Pre-Maki. How about you, Ice?
Personally, I think it has a long way to go. While the show is clearly struggling with the studio change and trying to find its footing, I do hope that halfway through the season, they've got it together. I've stuck through bad Pretty series, I will admit. Aurora Dream and Dear My Future are quite tough to get started with, but I do believe this show could find its footing, and with better CGI, I'd be willing to forgive more.
Now, we would love to hear from you guys. What are your thoughts on Aipri so far? Do you have a favorite character, or do you have a favorite song? Let us both know in the comments below.
We hope you enjoyed this little discussion on Aipri. We just wanted to give a mostly spoiler-free review to people who aren't sure if the new series is worth watching. Let us know what you're thinking in the comments below. Be sure to check out Rosie's channel, and I will see you guys later.